MC. Hey guys, here we got some short stories with kitties. Boy, we got a gaggle of them going there today. And oh, that's a big old view. What are we going to call that? Let's call that the Super View. All right, we're coming to you from Super View. Looks like we got a climbing wall there. We got a couple of caves, and oh yeah, we go up the corner house over there. Ooh, baby. Oh, there's Taffy Man and Tauk. Okay, let's get to this story. We got short stories with Kitty. We got Aepyornis Island, and I promise you, we are gonna finish this sucker today. Last time we finished off where he was telling us that he'd been living on this desert atoll, fishing, raising up his gigantic ancient bird, this Aepyornis bird that came out of that egg that he hatched. Wow, this thing is about 14 feet tall now, and they just had themselves a disagreement as to who was going to get the fish. The bird won. So, here we go. He pecked at it and grabbed it. I gave him a whack on the head to make him leave, and that's when he went for me. Lord. He gave me this in the face. The man indicated his scar. Then he kicked me. It was like a cart horse. I got up, and seeing he hadn't finished, I started off full tilt with my arms doubled up over my face. But he ran on those gawky legs of his faster than a racehorse, and he kept landing out at me with sledgehammer kicks and bringing his pickaxe down on the back of my head. I made for the lagoon, and I went in up to my neck. He stopped at the water, for he hated getting his feet wet, and began to make a shindy, something like a peacock's, only hoarser. He started strutting up and down the beach. I'll admit I felt small to see this blessed fossil lording it there. In my head and face were all bleeding, and, well, my body just one jelly of bruises. I decided to swim across the lagoon and leave him alone for a bit, until the affair blew over. I shined up the shinned, it should be shinned, right? Up the tallest palm tree and sat there thinking of it all. I don't suppose I ever felt so hurt by anything before or since. It was the brutal ingratitude of the creature. I had been more than a brother to him. I had hatched him, educated him, a great gawky, out-of-date bird, and me a human being, heir of the ages of all that. I thought after a time he'd begin to see things in that light himself, and feel a little sorry for his behavior. I thought if I was to catch some nice little bits of fish, perhaps, and go to him presently in a casual kind of way, and offer them to him, he might do the sensible thing. It took me some time to learn how unforgiving and cantankerous an extinct bird can be. Malice. Let's take a look at these kitties. Oh, Taffy Man, Frodo. Who else we got there? Oh, it looks like maybe Gandalf. Yep, that's Gandalf. We still got the crew there. Yeah, they're hanging in there. Had a couple of coyote attacks. Tony, one of the Spindalonis, lost half his tail. We call him Two Tails Tony now. We can sure tell them apart, but we haven't seen the other Spindaloni too much either, so who knows. Okay, I won't tell you all the little devices I tried to get that bird round again. I simply can't. It makes my cheek burn with shame, even now, to think of the snubs and buffets I had from this infernal curiosity. I tried violence. I chucked lumps of coral at him from a safe distance, but he only swallowed them. I shined my open knife at him and almost lost it. Though it was too big for him to swallow, I tried starving him out and struck fishing, but he took to picking along the beach at low water after worms, and rubbed along that. Half my time I spent up to my neck in the lagoon, and the rest up the palm trees. One of them was scarcely high enough, and when he caught me up, it had a regular bank holiday with the calves of my legs. It got unbearable. I don't know if you have ever tried sleeping up a palm tree. It gave me the most horrible nightmares. Think of the shame of it, too. Here was this extinct animal mooring about my island like a sulky duke, and me not allowed to rest the sole of my foot on the place. I used to cry with weariness and vexation. I told him straight that I didn't mean to be chased about a desert island by any damn anachronisms. I told him to go and peck a navigator of his own age. But he only snapped his beak at me. Great ugly bird, all legs and neck. I shouldn't like to say how long that went on altogether. I'd had killed him sooner if I'd known how. However, I hit on a way of settling him at last. It is a South American dodge. I joined all my fishing lines together with stems of seaweed and things, and made a stoutish string, perhaps 12 yards in length or more, and I fastened 2 lumps of coral rocks to the ends of this. It took me some time to do, because every now and then I had to go into the lagoon or up a tree as the fancy took me. This I whirled rapidly around my head and then let it go at him. The first time I missed, but the next time the string caught his legs beautifully, wrapped around them, and again, over he went. I threw it standing waist deep in the lagoon, and as soon as he went down, I was out of the water and sawing at his neck with my knife. I don't like to think of that even now. I felt like a murderer while I did it, though my anger was hot against him. When I stood over him and saw him bleeding on the white sand, and his beautiful great legs and neck writhing in last agony, bah! With that tragedy, loneliness came upon me like a curse. Good Lord, you can't imagine how I missed that bird. I sat by his corpse and sorrowed over him, and shivered as I looked around the desolate, silent reef. I thought of what a jolly little bird he had been when he was hatched, and of 1,000 pleasant tricks he had played before he went wrong. I thought if I'd only wounded him, I might have nursed him round into a better understanding. If I had had any means of digging into the coral rocks, I'd have buried him. I felt exactly as if he was human. As it was, I couldn't think of eating him, so I put him in the lagoon, and the little fishes picked him clean. I didn't even save the feathers. Then one day, a chap cruising about in a yacht had a fancy to see if my atoll still existed. It didn't come a moment too soon, for I was about sick enough of the desolation of it and only hesitating whether I should walk out into the sea and finish up the business that way, or fall back on the green things. I sold the bones to a man named Winslow, a dealer near the British Museum, and he says he sold them to old Havers. It seems Havers didn't understand they were extra large, and it was only after his death they attracted attention. They called him Aepyornis. What was it? Aepyornis vestus? Said I. It's funny, the very things was mentioned to me by a friend of mine. When they found an Aepyornis with a thigh a yard long, they thought they had reached the top of the scale, and called him Aepyornis maximus. Then someone turned up another thigh bone, 4 feet, 6 or more, and that they called Aepyornis titan. Then your vastus was found after old Havers died in his collection, and then a vastimus turned up. Winslow was telling me as much, said the man with the scar. If they get any more Aepyornises, he reckons some scientific swell will go and burst a blood vessel. But it was a queer thing to happen to a man, wasn't it, altogether? I'll say that. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. Aepyornis Island, finally in the closed book. Yikes, that was a little spooky. He had to kill his best friend. Just like that. There can be only one. Ah. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out and watching the kitties. I'm not sure what the next one's going to be, but I know it'll be exciting. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you next time. Samsy. Oh, here comes Big Rosie. Oh, that makes me feel good, yeah?